Hey everybody, this is Erica, the technology nerd who likes to film stuff, and right here before me I have the nerd's dream. This is the Google Nexus 5. Now I think that a lot of people are going to really like this device because of the price, and also because at this price range it has all the current specs that other phones like the Galaxy Note 3 has, and the LG G2. By the way, this is an LG phone, so I know there's going to be a lot of interest sparked in this phone. It's got the Qualcomm S800 SoC 4-crate cores clocked at 2.3 GHz or 2.26 GHz measured speed. It's also got the Adreno 330 GPU. It's got 2 gigs of RAM. It comes in 16 or 32 gigabyte versions, and they're both very affordable. Unlike the Nexus 4, we have LTE capabilities right out of the box. Also, it has Gorilla Glass 3, supposedly, just like the Galaxy S4 and probably the Note 3 as well. It's also the first to have Android 4.4 Kit Kat, and all of the goodies that the newest operating system brings, so there is a lot to be excited about here. I can't wait to open it up. This is just going to be an unboxing. I will make a first impressions video, and then I'm also going to be making an hour-long review. So there's not going to be any lack of content on this particular device. I also have to christen it with a name of some sort. Not sure of a name here. Now, getting to open it up, there are some things that I am concerned about with this device, such as the battery, which is only 2,300 milliamp hours. We were all hearing with rumors that the 32 gigabyte version might have the 3,000 milliamp hour battery, but it turns out that both the 16 and 32 gigabyte versions have only the 2,300 milliamp hour battery. So I'm not quite sure what to expect from this. I'm also not sure what to expect from the camera, but let's go ahead and open this up. Okay, all I could find was this Torx screwdriver. Don't judge me. It actually works quite well. This is so fun to do. It's like opening up a new present on Christmas morning. It's probably one of my favorite parts of the entire phone reviewing process, is just opening the box. So, here we are. Oh, come on. Yes, you know you want to open. Yes, yes. All right. And as you can see here, I ordered the black version. There is also a white version, which I think looks pretty badass as well. The white one basically has white on the back, and also the front is black as well, except for the speaker area right here is white. And I've also seen on the white one that the sides are a glossy black instead of a matte black finish. But I am a huge fan of black. I knew I couldn't go wrong with that. And actually, just looking at it right now, I really like this. Now, it really isn't shocking me that I am really liking this black version so far, because I really like my Nexus 7 LTE tablet, the 2013 edition. So you can see here that these guys look very similar down to the Nexus insignia that we have on the back. Except for, of course, this is LG and this is Asus. What I'm noticing with the soft touch on the back is that it's more fine grained than what we have with the soft touch on the Nexus 7 2013. But respectively, cameras are in the same place. Ooh, we have a little tab on here. I want to take that off. What we have here is an 8 megapixel optical image stabilized lens. I think that that is incredible that they have added image stabilization, and from what I'm hearing, it's actually pretty decent. I need to go out there and check it for myself, but even the likes of the Galaxy Note 3 couldn't even be bothered with adding optical image stabilization, so it is here on this guy that's even priced so much better. Of course, before I get too excited, we need to take a little bit of a look around the phone. We've got a volume rocker here. Very nice and clicky feeling. I really do like that soft touch on the sides. It really complements that back. We've got a micro SIM card tray here and also a power button. Ooh, it just turned it on. No, I didn't turn it on. Oh! Okay, anyway, so here we have the Gorilla Glass 3. You can probably sense the nerd-like excitement here. Anyway, resuming, we have a single LED flash. On the bottom, we have a micro USB port, charging port, and then one of these has got to be a speaker and the other one a microphone. On the front, we have our proximity sensor, we have our receiver, and we have our 1.3 megapixel shooter on the front. On the top here, we have a microphone and a standard headphone jack. Now, as far as the feel of this device, it does feel quite sturdy. I don't sense any bending or creaking. This does not feel cheap to me, even though it is, well, relatively cheap. In hand so far, the one knock I'm going to give it in terms of build quality, if you see here, there's two separate sections. We have a part that's the back cover that's meeting the sides of the phone. You can see that there is a line here. What's interesting is that this is not sitting completely mesh with the phone, and I feel like when I'm holding it in hand, it's scratching my palm a little bit. That's something that I'm going to call attention to right now. I'm going to ask you guys, with your new Nexus device, do you notice that this back cover is not sitting completely mesh with the sides here? It feels a little bit sharp, or at least not so comfortable against the palm of my hand. I am notorious for being picky, but on this one, I think I'm justified. I don't know, I'll have to see what you guys say about this, but this doesn't feel so nice in the hand as it feels like it's stabbing me a little bit. Admittedly, this is where those nice rounded corners on the Galaxy S4 really win out here. But moving along, you can see that the respective sizes are very similar. Displays are both considered 5 inches, and in terms of thickness, they feel like they're both exactly the same thickness. Okay, so now it's time to turn this guy on. This is a true HD IPS display. Now I am very curious about this display. In my first impressions video, I will be doing measurements and telling you just how this is calibrated, just out of the factory. Not quite sure what to expect. We've got 445 pixels per inch, which is pretty incredible. It's a little higher count than the Galaxy S4, 441 pixels per inch, so I'm sure it looks nice and sharp. Let's get this guy to power up. Heh, there you are, Señor Kit Kat. So let's go ahead and say yes, English. Insert SIM card. We will do all of this good stuff later. I think I just named this device, by the way. We're calling him Señor Kit Kat. First thing we are met with here is a system update, 125.8 megabytes, so I will go ahead and do that. Oh my word, system install, you are killing my joy. 10 hours later. And as it's updating, I can feel that it gets a little bit warm up near the camera area, but honestly, it's not too bad. I'm going to have to test that out as well in gameplay to see how hot this guy gets, as the Note 3 had gotten pretty hot. Here we go, it's just starting up and they're giving us a little bit of a tutorial about what things do, organize your space, all the things that they're doing with the new Google Hangout, which they have added the capability to have SMS and also chat at the same time, which is really great. I'm really liking what they've done with Kit Kat. It feels more polished than ever before. I love that I can now just go to the left, and there is Google Now. Everything feels very snappy and well organized. I can't wait to start using this. Hold downward, and you're brought up with wallpapers, widgets, and settings. And anytime you're in the home screen or you go to the left for Google Now, you can say, "Okay, Google." And it pulls it up right there and starts listening. It's not finding my connection right now. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but that's pretty nifty. Unlike Jelly Bean 4.3 on the Nexus 7, you can see underneath our app tray that the wallpaper is now visible instead of being completely black. That's a new welcome design for me. As far as the display goes, my very first impression on it is that at least when I'm looking at the whites, the white point is not blue. It feels a little bit more warm. That was something that I noticed with the LG G2 is that it had a very bluish white point and the whites looked very cool to me. So thankfully this looks more warm. The display seems to be pretty decent in terms of viewing angles. And also what I'm noticing as compared to the LG G2, don't be expecting this to have really punchy colors. Don't be expecting it to be overly saturated, because with the LG G2, that was probably the most oversaturated LCD that I had ever seen. It looked like a candy display. The colors were so oversaturated that they looked like candy. They looked almost neon. So this seems more muted down here. And with my measurements, I'll be able to see what the range of colors we actually have here, and what's going on with how saturated the colors are as well. Now, as far as what's in the box, I'm sure we don't have anything spectacular. They were nice enough to include a SIM ejection tool, which they did not do for my Nexus 7 LTE tablet. So there's several cards here talking about where NFC is located, which is right here underneath the Nexus insignia, among other things. We've got some safety and warranty informations. And then the least spectacular things that we have here are just the USB cable and also our adapter. This looks like a 1.2 amp charger. I'm curious to see how fast this phone charges. So there you see, there's nothing too spectacular in the box. They also don't include headphones or anything like that. So like I said, this is just going to be an unboxing. I'm going to save everything else, including my first impressions, for the first impressions video. I'm going to spend some good quality time with this device and try to get that first impressions video up as soon as possible. And then I will spend even more time for the full review. I will also be doing some camera tests. I'm sure I will be uploading some samples for everyone to look at. Although samples that I have seen right now show that some of the colors are a bit blown out, and then in shadows, the shadows appear to be too dark or compressed. So I'm really wondering what Google has done with the image processing here. I've also seen the video looks a little bit greenish and the dynamic range of the colors isn't so nice. But I still think this is a step up from the camera that we had on the Nexus 4. So give me some time, I'll really check this dude out. So there is a lot of stuff to be said here. I'm excited to play around with this for these next few weeks. So thank you everybody for watching. This has been Erica, the technology nerd who likes to film stuff. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions right now, it's a great time to ask them down in the comment section below. That way, as I'm making these videos, I can take your concerns and questions into consideration and put those into the review. So stay tuned. Have a good night, everybody.